The new Scandal Absolu comes in this beautiful golden shimmering bottle with an intriguing addition of black fig. How it smells and performs, how similar is it to the original, and is this new 2024 release something you absolutely need to get your nose on? Well, watch until the end and you'll find out. And hello, welcome or welcome back. I'm Miri and here we talk in depth about fragrances, and this bottle is by far the most beautiful in the entire range despite having tacky legs on the cap, and the upper part is transparent while the lower part has a mirroring effect. Also, the bottle gradually changes color from the purest shimmering gold color at the bottom to ambery transparent part at the top, and it looks so seductive, glimmering and just magnetic. In the ad, we see a couple that after a spectacular victory in the boxing ring goes to a scandalous after-show party with no rules or boundaries. The inspiration, just like with all Scandal perfumes, is indulging in extravagant and sensual Parisian night. So this fragrance should be very bold, sensual, addictive and intense, and each should entice you to, unleash your wild side. So how Scandal Absolu smells? You can notice that on Fragrantica tuberose is listed as the top note and black fig as the middle note, but it's actually the other way around. Also, Scandal Absolu has additional notes of leather, rose and honey, so I put the picture on the screen from the website parfuma.net because that list of notes is more accurate. When I saw the notes, I thought the opening of Scandal Absolu would be like a leafy green fig, like a designer version of what you get in Diptyque's Philosicus, but it's not. I don't get prominent fruity or even this green fig at all. From the beginning to the end, I can smell this beautiful sweet tuberose, but it has green nuances. So I got this like silky, slightly powdery creaminess, probably from the sun-drenched, juicy figs, but the scent comes off more coconutty than it does fruity, and you get dark fruity hints, but only in the background. So imagine the scent of coconut fig custard with slightly green but sweet tuberose flowers. So this is the opening. It's very creamy and it truly matches the golden color of the bottle because it's very warm, and you get this beautiful coconutty tuberose with green and fruity vibes. Also, I like the fact that tuberose here doesn't smell like old-fashioned, traditional white floral scent, and it doesn't smell like bubblegummy tuberose you usually can smell in other designer fragrances. But here, tuberose is fresh, it's slightly sharp and a bit green, but it gets sweeter and sweeter as the scent dries down. And although this perfume has honey, it's not a typically sweet, sticky, syrupy honey you get in other Scandal fragrances. Here, honey is more creamy, and combined with that coconut tropical vibe, it resembles the scent of honeyed milk aroma or a creamy texture of honey and milk body creams. It smells almost edible, but it never becomes like a true sweet gourmand perfume. And also, I don't get any rose in this perfume. So this is sweet, lush, creamy honeyed milk scent with tuberose in the heart, and it feels just bewitchingly warm and truly golden. It's the nicest, creamiest sweet floral scent that turns a bit darker and more mysterious in the dry down because of the sandalwood and leather. Sandalwood here doesn't smell like pickles, so if you're afraid of that, it doesn't. It smells milky. Yeah, very creamy and milky, but leather gives a bit of that dusty, animalic vibe to this scent. And what's really unusual is that Scandal Absolu doesn't get, softer and weaker as it dries down, but rather it becomes heavier and thicker, so honey becomes more pronounced as the scent dries down. And that honeyed, creamy and slightly nutty sandalwood with dusty leather reminds me of the rich, syrupy, sweet scent of baklava, usually made with walnuts. So imagine slightly dusty baklava decorated with the tuberose flowers. This is the base of Scandal Absolu. It's cozy and sweet, animalic, mysterious, thick and dense fragrance. And it's pretty obvious that tuberose is having 5 minutes of fame currently because it's the star of the show in Scandal Absolu, but also in some other new releases such as Givenchy's L'Interdit Tuberose Noir, which is amazing and I can't wait to buy a full bottle of it. And it's also a star of another new release, and that is Maison Crivelli Tuberose Astral, but it's pretty strong in Tom Ford's Soleil de Feu and Giorgio Armani's My Way Nectar as well. I do enjoy tuberose, so I enjoy this fragrance as well. And this is just a sweet, woody, floral scent that, in my opinion, is much more pleasing and much more likable compared to the original Scandal, which is like a very sticky, sweet, honey prominent scent. And although you get honey sweetness in Scandal Absolu as well, this is a much softer, tamed version of that, very syrupy, sweet beeswax honey in the original Scandal. Also, another difference is that in the original Scandal, you get licorice and you get patchouli in the dry down, while Scandal Absolu has woodier, dusty, a bit leathery dry down, which is much more appealing and less screechy to me. At least that is my personal preference. And I like that this isn't as sweet as previous honey prominent perfumes in Scandal range. It's milkier, it's smoother, it's a more coconutty and woodier version of the original, so it's much more tamed compared to other Scandals, and I enjoy it a lot. So I would rate its scent profile with 9 out of 10. And performance-wise, this fragrance passed the overnight test. I could still smell it on my skin in the morning, so it has excellent longevity, but I never had any issues with the longevity of Jean-Paul Gaultier's perfumes. Projection and sillage are moderate, and after some time the scent tends to stick closer to the skin, but those nearby will be able to notice it, so I would rate its performance with 8 out of 10. And if this review has been informative and helpful so far, then boop the like button, hit the notification bell and subscribe, because many more reviews are coming up. And now I'll tell you what are the pros and cons of this fragrance, and I'll tell you, is this perfume worth adding to your collection? The first negative point is there's no prominent fig in this fragrance. The scent isn't very fruity, and fig feels more like coconut than it resembles the actual scent of the fig. And the second negative point is it has a bit challenging dry down because you get sandalwood and leather in the base, so it won't work out for everyone. Although on my skin, sandalwood is extremely silky, smooth and milky, but leather gives like the perfect amount of dusty, dark animalic vibe, so it balances the sweetness. But you need to test this fragrance on your skin and see how leather behaves on you. And now 2 positive points. The first one is it has tamed honey accord, so if you dislike the original Scandal because it was too sticky sweet or very syrupy honey prominent scent, this version will be probably much more pleasing to you and more enjoyable, because honey here is just, it's done beautifully with this creamy, slightly coconutty vibe, and honey here isn't pungent at all. Yes, the scent is heavy, but much less heavy and more crowd-pleasing, smoother and more pleasant than the original Scandal, at least in my opinion. And the second positive point is versatility. Scandals are usually perfumes you would wear during colder months, but this feels a bit more summery because of the coconut vibe. So this is a perfume you can wear no matter the season and no matter occasion. It would be a great great everyday perfume as well, and I think many people will enjoy it and love it because it's just pretty. It's just a likable perfume. So if you like tuberose, you like sweet and woody perfumes, then absolutely check out Scandale Absolu. And even if you don't like honey in the original Scandale, give this one a shot because honey isn't as prominent. Yes, it brings a lot of sweetness, but it's not as sweet as the original. Also, it feels a bit similar in my opinion to Alien Goddess Intense because both are, warm, sweet, woody white floral perfumes with a hint of coconut, and both are appropriate for summer. And even if you own Alien Goddess Intense, you could still have Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandale Absolu because they're not same, they're not dupes, and they won't feel redundant. And if you haven't noticed, I like this much more than the original Scandale, but to be honest, it doesn't fit the description or the ad. It doesn't feel, scandalous, audacious, or wild. On the contrary, it's an extremely pleasant, likable perfume for all those who like sweet, creamy tuberose with a darker base. So just keep in mind to wait until the dry down when you're testing this perfume because it starts, with a really deliciously sweet, creamy tuberose, but it dries down to a bit heavier, darker, thicker, animalic, woody floral scent, but it is still sweet and floral in the base. So in my opinion, this is a great new release, and Jean Paul Gaultier delivered, and I really enjoyed this perfume and these, slight coconut nuances, although those notes aren't listed. But 3 words or adjectives I would describe Scandale Absolu with would be woody, honeyed tuberose, and overall for its scent profile and performance, it deserves 8.5 out of 10. And now it's time for you to comment what you think of this perfume. Do you also get hints of coconut, and does a leathery base smell good on your skin? I can't wait to read what you think and what were your experiences with this fragrance. And if you would like to see another honest perfume review, then I would suggest to check out this video next. I will see you there. Bye!